here, back on channel again. I got Jack and Terry. Jack's been with me before. This is new to Terry. And the thing of it is, both of them have seen active things going on here in this property. I'll probably let you tell their stories because I don't want to tell it for them. But yeah, they're witnesses to things that have happened here. Sightings, the Foots, and the Dogman, the whole bit. So, who wants to go first?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, before Terry tells about joining the club and no return. One of the things that's happened to me was fishing over the hill a lot. Miss Stacy's really kind enough to let us do it. And in return, we've done some work for him around here. And I'm going to say all the time. But anyway, I was waiting on Terry to show up one morning. It was pretty early, a few months ago, back in late spring, I think it was.
Probably was.
Yeah, early, mid-spring maybe. I'd pulled in and I was getting the boat and everything ready to go, and I kept hearing a noise coming that was off to my right, up towards Stacy's driveway, in the woods there. At first I thought woodpecker, but then I noticed it wasn't wood, because every once in a while I'd hear a scrape and here it was clacking rocks. And it's really grown up right there, and the bank's like straight up. I know it wasn't Stacy ever playing tricks on me. And then just as soon, it kept going, and I think it was them letting me know they was there, the Foots, and it was really, I didn't freak out, get scared or nothing. Actually, it felt pretty peaceful, and I was excited. And as soon as Terry come around the corner and pulled in the truck, it stopped, and that was it. They were done. And then another time, I was fishing by myself, and I was in the back corner, and out of nowhere, I don't know if it was a rock or a log or whatever, when I got kind of close to the bank, this thing come rolling down through the weeds, barreling through the weeds, and stopped. And again, I just kind of stopped and looked at them, looked up there. I didn't see nothing, but it seemed like they was letting me know they were there. And there's been other things like wood knocks. I've heard wood knocks out here a few times. That was the exciting things, though, when they was doing that. It's like they've accepted me after all this time. I think a lot of it was the fact that, helping Stacy and him not, chasing us off with shotguns for fishing or anything like that. I think they've actually accepted us. It seems like it. Are you getting smoked out over there?
No, I'm good.
They've accepted both of these guys.
They seem to, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. I mean, Terry's worked in the back a lot by himself, and they never bothered him. But you pointed out a couple trees back there that were bent over.
In the cluster of other trees, it's 6 to 8 inch diameter, and in the middle are 4 or 5 inch diameter, just bent right over.
Yeah.
I mean,
for what? Like, did nature do that? No.
No.
Well, you're a woodsman. You're a logger. You know what trees do.
They don't do that without help.
No.
In the middle of a cluster anyway.
Right. And then tell us about joining the club and no return.
Huh. Like you said, me and you both fishing back there in the back corner of the pit that Stacy lets us fish. Thank goodness he does. But was coming out around there fishing, looked up, and like he said, a rock come rolling over the hill. Stopped at the bank, and I told him, I said, let's get out of here. Because I didn't know what to expect. I've never witnessed anything like this before.
And then I said, he's right up there, because I saw light, then it disappeared, and then over here the light would appear and disappear. I said, he's right up there. And what was your words? Let's go to the other side.
Yep.
Well, first you said, don't point at it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I was kind of skeptical, but I believed in it because they can't make this stuff up. Anyway, we got looking, and sure enough, seen the head and the shoulder of, and made sure they let us see it. So I seen one. A Bigfoot was a very wild experience, and I'd love to see another one.
Yeah, but I remember, what did you say? Let's go on the other side.
Yeah, first of all, yeah. Then when after I seen it, I mean, I wasn't scared or nothing.
No,
just-
it was just let's get out of here.
yeah.
Wait for
That
it.
rock was
It
bigger
was
than any
huge.
rock laying here.
Yeah, it was big. That was a big rock. I heard it. I didn't get to see the rock, but I saw it laying there. I heard it come down the hill.
Yeah.
I kept saying, they're not going to bother us. They just letting us know they're here. And that was cool because then we went back to fishing like with nothing.
Yeah. Because it
Went around again.
there and it was gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it just
Went around again. It was pretty cool.
it was very, very cool.
It just kind of put the object to what we talk about.
Exactly.
And I mean, you know me for what? Seems like 100 years.
But we've heard knocks and stuff without seeing anything also down there, me and him fishing together. Nothing scary or dangerous or nothing like that. It's just, I think, letting us know that they're there. And
And the phone ringing. That's what. Terry's heard music a couple times. The one night in particular, after Stacy, which he'll tell you about it if he hadn't already, talking about hearing calliope music.
I haven't told that yet.
And Terry heard it the one time we was down there fishing,
twice the same time.
and then I didn't hear it, but I kept hearing the phone ring, and there's no phones around. I mean, it's like an old rotary phone ringing, like the bells, and,
Yeah.
and that was weird.
Yeah, I never heard that.
I've
I
heard
heard
it a
that
couple
calliope
times.
playing.
Yeah,
It was about 10 seconds, and then, I don't know, an hour or so later, about 10 or 15 seconds again. I mean, it's,
Yeah, the calliope playing. I was up here in this area burning some furniture and other stuff I drug from Columbus, had to get rid of. And I could hear calliope music, like what they have at a circus. And it wasn't just in a direction, it was all around me. I'm in the middle of it. And also at the same time, my dogs started barking about it. They was barking them into it, whatever it was. And Sharon and Donna in the house, they heard the same thing, the calliope music. And I told Jack about it on the phone, and then when Terry come down sometime later, he heard it. And you didn't hear the calliope music.
Jack was in the boat with me, and he couldn't hear what I
I
was
didn't
hearing.
hear it, but I heard the phone ring, and then he wasn't hearing the phone.
No.
Yeah, this is what they do. They direct sounds to whoever they want to hear it. Like, he got the phone ring, he got the calliope. They separated them. He couldn't hear what he was hearing, he couldn't hear what he was hearing. So they have the ability to do this.
And what I heard was after my sighting also. So.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, and then what was it? A month and a half later, when we met down here to move Stacy that first day to move his shop down, and you saw the tree bend over.
Oh, yes, yeah. That's when I was down at the bottom waiting for the other guys because they had trailers. I didn't want to be in the way when they come up in here, so I was sitting down at the bottom of the driveway. I went down, turned around about 100 yards, come back up and seen these crows take off over to my left about 100 yards in the woods. And I just pulled over there and I seen this tree shake. I thought it might have been a squirrel or something, and all of a sudden the tree went clear down. I mean, it was a nice tree too. Went clear down and come back up and was shaking. And then just as soon as I got my phone, it quit.
yeah, we have a thing here that people always ask me, why ain't you got pictures? Why isn't this happening? Why ain't you got any recordings? First of all, when I made contact with the Foots here and we started communicating, they let me know they don't like that. And I let them know, fine, that's the way you want it, that's the way it'll be. So we have an agreement. No photos. I don't try to trick them with recordings and photos and all that kind of stuff. I just don't do it. My relationship with the Foots is on total trust. And that's the way I'm going to keep it. I will not break my promises to them. I'll do nothing to ever have them mistrust me. This is too important to me to waste on a stupid little photo.
Exactly.
And the bottom line of it is, that's just what the Foots live by, is trust. You people have a fun time understanding that, but they are coming out to the public. And that's one of the things that they emphasize. Be honest with them. Don't lie to them. They take lying like aggression. If you lie to them, they can't trust you and they got no use for you. So when the time comes, if you ever run across one, or the time comes that they are out in the public, like I said they're going to do, lying won't get you nowhere with them.
No.
That's just the way it is. So,
But you have to treat them the same way. If
Yeah.
they break your trust, you have to just, that's it, it's done. You know?
I could see that happen. Yeah, if something like that would happen, you'd have to. I mean,
You'd have to, yeah. You know, one of the things people always look at me like I got holes in my head when I talk about this stuff, but I mean, I'll be 60 years old next, 2 months. I got more to lose than I do to gain by talking about this stuff.
Yeah,
Way
well,
more.
Why would
you
everyone
know.
make this stuff up anyway? I mean, it
Right,
doesn't make
right.
no
Why,
sense.
why would you want to do that? I mean, I have no. My 15 minutes of fame has been over a long time ago. Playing music and stuff. I don't really. It's not about that. It's about, for me, what it's about now is helping Stacy.
well, helping me is helping the Foots because that's all I
That's
do.
it. That's what you're doing. So I'm here to help.
I'm trying. They came to me. Okay, let me go at the beginning of this so you have some understanding of why maybe they picked me out, because I don't know for sure. But I was born in the winter solstice. And if you look all that up about the winter solstice, December 22nd, you'll find out people born in them times sometimes have special abilities. Well, when I was 68 years old, a woman come to me and said, she's a very religious lady. She came to me and she said, you know you have a gift? And I'm like looking at her like, lady, I don't know about no gift. I'm not into religion. I don't know nothing about religion. She says, it had nothing to do with religion. She said, you have a gift. Well, I said, what is it? She says, you'll find out. Well, at this time, I'm talking to the Foots. I know I'm doing that. And I'm thinking, well, that must be my gift. Well, I have other things too I didn't realize until I was 68 years old. I have a thing called channeling. I call things out. They happen, maybe years later, but it happens the way I called it out.
I've seen a few things.
Yeah, he said a few things that I say, and it happens as soon as I say it. But sometimes it takes a long time. Like what's going on in the government right now, just an example. What's going on in the government right now with all the craziness going on. All around the world, actually, in all these governments, they're all breaking up and having problems. My friend was in front of his computer. He's real political. His name's Matt. And Matt was trying to tell me about political stuff as I'm leaving his house. I'm trying to go out the door, and he said something, and I stopped and turned around and looked at him and told him, Matt, this is not a battle between Democrats and Republicans. This is a battle between good and evil. I said, all the corruption is going to get wiped out. The corrupt will be dealt with. There will be military tribunals, there will be executions, and I'm not going to mention this name again, but there's one that I called out by name that there will be a public execution of. I don't know how that happens, but that was what come out. Anyway, then I said, they're going to use the RICO Act on all these people to put them in jail and do what they got to do with them. Well, come to find out, like I've known the RICO Act for a long time. I used to have to know that part. And when I'm saying out of my mouth, they're going to use the RICO Act for these people, my mind says, no, stupid, that's for bikers and gangsters. That's my thought, but it's not what's coming out of my mouth. So that's when I realized, I don't know where this is coming from, but it ain't coming from me. This is what the channeling is. Anyway, the other part of that call out was, I can't remember all of it. His wife had to remind me because I can't remember a lot of it. The other part of it was, when this is, we're going to get a paycheck. That come out of my mouth. We're going to get a paycheck. I don't know what that means. Also, when this is all over, this will all be good when it's over. Which tells me, I didn't get exact words, but it tells me there ain't going to be no world war. There's not going to be no war for us. I could be wrong, but that's the feeling I get of what come out of my mouth. We'll wait and see how it works. There's a big threat of war and all this, and I just don't see it happening. And, well, that's part of the channeling thing. One other thing I called out channeling was really stupid. Have no idea what it means, but I'm going to tell you anyway. It came after that one. And it's about basically politics. I come out of my shower, and Sharon was in the living room, and I walked over to Sharon and looked at her and I said, "Do you know we're going to be Canada?" I couldn't tell you what that means. Just that we're going to be Canada. First thing I thought, like, are we going to war with Canada? That was my thought. Like, what the hell is that? I don't know. But keep it in mind for whatever happens in Canada. I don't know. But that's I think part of the reason, these abilities is part of the reason the Foots came to me. I don't have, I almost call it a mental problem. I don't have no real fear of things. And I think that's part of one of the things that attracted to me, because like a dog, if a dog senses you're afraid of them, they're subject to bite you. Because they figure if you're afraid of them, you're going to do something to hurt them.
Well, that means they look at that as being unpredictable.
Yeah, yeah, unpredictable.
Yeah, and unbalanced. They don't like that.
A horse can sense fear also.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
Most animals do.
yeah, so that's what I'm looking at with the Foots. Like, they don't see any fear in me, and it's what happened. They come here to this property right where I'm sitting, hanging around here, and well, a few 100 feet over that way. And they come out and they're in the bush, and I can see their eyes shine. I know their movements and what's going on. And I knew who they was. I come out and I said, "Hey guys, how you doing?" You know, I just out here talking to them. Just come out and talk to them like. So eventually, I had probably, at that time, I had about 30 or 40 Foots come through here in groups just to watch that crazy old man talk to them. You know, that's what I do. But it didn't bother me. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
And I didn't mean to insinuate that the Foots were animals by any means, because I think they're people.
Yeah.
They may be part animal, you know, according to the DNA study that was done. They are part unknown primate, and part human, which
So are we.
yeah, which is
Primate too.
really cool, because you know, having animal instincts and you know the human reasoning and thought, that makes for one very smart individual. Yes.
Well, and also their abilities. They read your mind. It's like if you got a 100-acre area and the Foots know what's all in there, and somebody goes into that area, they know you're there.
Before you know you're there.
Yeah,
Seems
you
like.
have no idea of knowing. When I used to come home here on weekends, I'd pull up here, and I know they're not sitting there waiting on me. I would pull up and get ready to unlock my gate, and I'd hear them in the bush right beside me somewhere. They'd come down to greet me because they knew I was there. I know they wasn't there waiting all that time. They just had to know I'm back.
Well, what about Judith
Well, that's the other one.
in Scotland?
This I'm getting to that. On my comments, I got a comment from a lady. It said, "My boys and girls suggested I get a hold of you." So, okay, I found that a little intriguing. So we made arrangements. I got back with her, and we ended up making contact, and we Zoomed together on internet now. And there's a lot's went on between me and her, and the Foots from she's in Scotland, the UK. This is not here in America. That's where she has her Foots. So anyway, that fascinated me in itself, that I'm getting contact from over there. And there was a lot of stuff tied us together. That is why we communicated. But the Foots knew this. How the Foots knew who I was in Scotland, I have no idea. But it seems to be going around the world. They all communicate. One way or another, it seems that they communicate. Anyhow, somebody just sent me a comment wanting to know how my experience was with Andrew. So, wasn't a bad experience with him, and it's proved out to do me real good. There was something that was said on that one of them shows he did that wasn't quite the truth. I'm not going to get into that right now, but it was a little bit off the wall. But it's fine. That's what he wants to put out. That's fine. If it becomes a problem, I'll bring it up, but it's not a problem right now. Anyway, me and Andrew, he was doing this documentary on me, and we're at my shop in Columbus, which I don't have no more, but we're in that shop, and the one called Flower is always with me. I try to explain that to Andrew. No matter where I go, Flower is with me. She knows everything I do, whatever it takes, she knows. So we're talking, and he said something about, well, what's this with Flower and stuff, and I says, me and Flower have a love affair. I says, I love her and she loves me. We've never touched, met, nothing like that, but it become a love between us. And she actually wanted me for a mate, and it made for a problem from Sharon, my woman. And this was a problem. We got it straightened out. Everything's fine now. But while we were talking in that shop, me and Andrew were the only ones in my shop, except for Flower. You guys got to hold on to your seats for this, and this is for real. Flower was in there when I was talking to him, and I told him all this. I said, yeah, I loved her, and she loved me, and this is what went on. Well, Judith in the UK, she is really receptive to what goes on with these foots. Well, it seemed that Flower knew about Judith, and she went over to Judith and told Judith that she was ecstatic that I told somebody that I loved her. She just loved it. She was beside herself. Judith said she actually got tears in her eyes from listening to what Flower had to say. So that was some of the stuff that's really fantastic. It's unbelievable, but we live it. This is what we live.
When you told me that, I was floored. I was just floored.
Yeah.
I was like, how, you know,
Yeah.
it never ceases to amaze me,
Yeah.
the stuff that happens. I mean,
Jack has talked to Judith. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and she's a very remarkable lady, very remarkable. She had me pegged, and she told me, you know, if I wanted to have a relationship, so to speak, with the Foots, or at least be on a level with them, I had to open myself up, because I was closed, and I admit I was, because I didn't know if I wanted that or not. I mean, that's kind of scary when you think about it, you know. I just wasn't sure. So I
Can't see nothing.
is it dead?
No, you can't. It's black. The screen's black.
Uh-oh, it might died.
No, you still see. All you see is a little bit of this flicker. You
Oh,
can't
you
see.
see, okay. Was checking the camera there.
Yeah.
But anyway, and it's right after I decided, okay, I opened up toward him in my mind, and it wasn't, but maybe a month later, the rock clacking down here happened. And when I emailed Judith and told her about that, because I was pretty excited, she said, yeah, I see you've opened up a little bit to him. I said, yeah, I have. And I mean, I always knew they was there. I've experienced the Dogman way more than the Foots. I've had them put visions in my head of them, and the fear they put on you. They did that to me one time, and oh my, I don't even know how to explain that one. It's a body fear. It's because in my mind I was saying, why am I afraid? It was broad daylight, you know. It was like noon or something like that, 1 in the afternoon, and when it happened, and I couldn't control it. I ended up running to the main path because I was heading down another way, and I was right before that. I was whistling, singing to myself, just looking around, enjoying nature, and all of a sudden that fear came over me, and I couldn't shake it, and I couldn't figure out why. And it wasn't until like a week later I had heard on Dogman Encounters Radio, someone called in, you know, was being interviewed, and they talked about how they felt that, and that's when it hit me. That was brought on by them, and because I was heading down a different path, walking down the hill, and my buddy was on a golf cart coming down this way, and his wife was up ahead. She come running back up the hill as I was running over to the golf cart, and she said something big and black just ran across the path down there, and I was heading right for it. And then all of a sudden, I didn't know that, but that's when that fear hit me, and I didn't like that. I didn't want no part of that.
Any kind of fear you don't like, that's for sure. I mean, you don't want that.
Especially a fear like that, because my body was running and my mind was telling it not to, but it took over. In my mind, I said, "There's no reason to be afraid. I mean,
I
there's
remember
nothing
telling me
here."
about it. It was
Oh man, I'd never experienced anything like that. That
This
was
is
wild.
the reason me and Jack ended up getting together, because at one time I had comments come into me that the Dogman was behind me, and these woods back here behind me, that they could see the Dogman behind me. I couldn't see her, and Jack can't even see it in the film, but these people sent these comments in. Two people on the same video said the same thing that don't know each other, but they both said that the Dogman was behind me. So they seen something that we ain't seeing, and that was a long time ago. And, well, now I've seen the Dogman. I seen my first one in actual daylight, in the middle of the day, about 200 feet from here. My building's right there. I come around from the back of my building, and he was over behind a truck and a car sitting over there. He was beside of him. When I first come around the corner, I looked, I thought I'd seen a pony. I couldn't see the face. The face was, he was like sniffing on the truck and sniffing on the car and had his face the other direction. And he kind of walked around real slow. It was like a pony, but short. But he looked like a big pony from the back of him. He walked on around to the back of the cars and galloped off like a little puppy. And then I realized, that's a Dogman. I was just so dumbfounded when I seen it, I didn't know what I was looking at. But that was a Dogman. It wasn't a pony.
What was the word you used? He loped off?
He galloped. He kind of galloped.
Galloped or loped?
So,
Yeah.
Some of them like little puppies
Like
when
he was
they're
happy.
jumping and prancing. That's how he went out off the way. Sharon has seen 3 of them so far up here. Now, one she thought was Terry coming up from the lake, but it wasn't Terry.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been coming up that way anyway. That's a steep hill.
Yeah, yeah, it's almost a straight wall where this guy come up. What happened was he came up. Sharon was sitting here not too far from here, sitting there with the 2 little puppies we got, and she looked, seen this thing walking up, and it stood up like a man, and she thought it was Terry at the distance she was at. And then the 2 little dogs started barking and went out after it. Well, as soon as they went out after it, it dropped to all 4s, and before they could get to it, it disappeared. Poof, gone. Hi people, I hope you enjoyed the first part of this video. That was the first time I put any real witnesses on other than Sharon that have seen things happen on this property. It's a rare thing. I mean, there's people who have seen a lot here, but they don't want to get on this camera and talk about it. So I don't mention it. Some people don't even want their names mentioned, so that happens. They've seen it. Anyway, all I gotta say is thank you, Charlie. I don't know Charlie, but thank you, thank you, thank you. I have all you new subscriptions, many, many more new viewers, and that is a thank you from the Foots. They appreciate the fact that we're getting the word out. They want people to know what they're really about, and I'm doing my best, and you guys are really helping. Give me just a minute. That might be a little better. Anyway, Jack and Terry, they sit down with me and did a video and spoke of things they've seen here. I have other witnesses in the future, maybe, might be coming up. I have a neighbor, and I'm allowed to say his name. His name's Kelly Clapper. After I moved out here, sold everything in Columbus, moved everything back out here where I'm living. The Foots kind of had a little party and let everybody know they was around. They was breaking off trees and all kind of stuff, I guess. I guess that's how they celebrate. I don't know. Anyway, old Kelly asked me, he called me on the phone. He says, "Hey, what's going on down there?" I don't know what he's talking about. And he started telling me about the trees and stuff. And he does lumbering with his trees and stuff. I can see his concern. Anyway, this has been a wild experience. He's getting all these views. I just don't know how to act. I answer as many of them. When people ask questions, there was a bunch who were just saying hi, I'll send you love and all that. I just don't have time to go over each one of those to do them. I have barely got time to do this video. I don't know if you can see behind me. I don't have no light in the garage. I got to put electric in it yet, but I got a lot of work to do, and I'm still doing a lot of work. Very little time. I have other things to do as well. Luckily, I don't have a job anymore, or I wouldn't get none of this done. But I really appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all you viewers. I love Charlie for what he's done, and this is the first chance I've had to do a video to get back with that. But there's more coming. Uh, I have an uncle I can speak of about a few things with him. Uh, last night, I was out here last night. I had stuff I had to burn, get rid of. Things we're still throwing stuff out and still burning up things. Anyway, when the fire was about out, Sherry come out here and was sitting with me, and it must have been around 10 o'clock. And something, I got a steel pile over that direction behind you, away from the garage. It's behind my other overseas containers over there. Something hit steel loud. It wasn't no accident, and I don't hear. I'm not hearing things in my head. When I don't hear anything in my head, and there's thing happening. I'm pretty sure it's a Dogman. The foots are around. I know they're here. I got to learn the Dogman. My canine critters are new to me, and trying to learn them. Jack's helping me. Jack come over the other night, and he got. I'm sitting here, and I wasn't hearing anything, and all of a sudden I started hearing something, and I'm sitting there, and I said to Jack, I says, somebody just showed up somewhere. He says, what do you mean? I says, I'm starting to get the buzz like I get. He says, oh. He says, oh, I'm getting. He's starting to get a buzz like I get. The thing is, Jack and Terry are my very good friends. I completely trust them, and the Foots trust them. If the Foots didn't trust them, they wouldn't see them. They wouldn't know nothing about them. Uh, I have a lot of people say, hey, can I come out and see if I can find them? Well, I let some people come out if they want to, but the bottom line, they go find them. If their mind is not right, they're not going to find nothing. And the Foots know what's in your mind. So, anyway, I have people talk to me about pictures. I already made a deal with them. I don't do pictures. And I've explained that to somebody on one of the comments one time, and they come right back at me and ask for pictures again. I don't know if they're small-minded, don't understand English, but I tell them again, I don't do pictures with the Foots. It's an agreed upon subject between me and them. That was done years ago. If it ever changes, you guys will be the first to know. But no, I'm not getting pictures. I'm just telling you what's going on. My trust with them, I won't blow them. I try to sneak a picture. I really couldn't sneak a picture anyway because anything I do, they know what's in my head. So I couldn't get nothing off anyway. But anyway, I hope you liked the first part of this video. I wanted, I got a lot of things I want to talk about, but I can't do it right now. I'm going to put out another video soon, and hopefully sooner than this one because it's been a while since I put a video out. But I've been doing this moving, and if you can see behind me, I got the garage built, moved all my stuff in it. It's all scattered all over. I got no organization. I can't find nothing from moving. And this ain't like moving your house where you box things up, you set them for a room in a room. This stuff all comes in here in a pile, and I have to find a place to put it, make places for it, and to put shelves up on the walls, and a lot of stuff. Just a lot of my time getting taken up. So when my time's a little freer, you're going to get more. There's more coming. Now, this is the hunting season. I'm not going to hear much from them. When you got a lot of hunters out in the woods and shooting each other and shooting at each other and all that crazy stuff they do, people do end up shooting each other when they're hunting. People get shot. Anyway, my foots, and I'm pretty sure the Dogman as well, my canine critters, the foots, I'm sure they don't want to be in the woods anymore than they have to with the hunting going on. I've experienced this for a lot of years, and this is slack time. Now, Jack reminded me that he knew of when they were down at a place called Rockstall that it was like that until New Year's. New Year's popped up, but the canine critters started showing up down there. So I don't know that whole situation. Jack will have to explain all that to you. Uh, that's his portion of this show we're going to be doing. Uh, yeah, I'm out here at my house right now, and I'm not hearing any foots. That's unusual. Usually there's something around, but there's nothing in here right now. They have other things to do besides tend to me. And I have one viewer at sent me in a comment that he also lives with the foots. And I don't know how to tell him to do it, but he needs to get back with me. If you go back about 90 videos, you'll see my email address. It's the title of the video. That's how you can get a hold of me. But it's important that he does. If he really lives with the foots like I live with the foots, we need to talk. That doesn't happen very often. I've been waiting for somebody to come up with that for a long time. But we'll wait and see what happens, see if he gets with me. Back when Scott Carpenter was alive, I tried many times to get a hold of him, to have him get a hold of me, and he never did. Sent many emails to him, and he just never replied. I don't know why. But maybe it's because of the conflict with the Nephilim that I said they're not, and he said there is. We never got to talk about it. But anyway, all I can say is thank you all for putting me in where I'm at right now. Uh, this is not just me. You're doing this for the foots, not for me. I mean, if it wasn't for the foots, I wouldn't be here doing no kind of videos because I could care less. But this is something I have to do. It's I've explained as best I can why I do it for them, but it's a part of my life. They become part of my life when they come in here, and that's really really important to me. I have the one female that we have a love affair going on without even seeing each other. So this is the whole thing. I don't have to see the foots when I know they're around me. They let me know they're here. They take in what they want to take in from me. They give me what they want to give me, and then they go. Flower, she's usually always here. She's always in contact one way or the other, but she's not always present. But anyway, this is the best way I can explain these things to you. I'll try to get more together on this. This video, one of these things I just didn't really prepare for. I should have, but I didn't. I mean, we did the one video, and that was what we're going to do. Uh, like I say on the front of that video, if you don't live with the Bigfoot, you don't know the Bigfoot. So a lot of people say a lot of things, and that's my motto, and that's what people got to understand. All the speculation goes on about them, this, that, and the other. And it's truly all speculation. They find a little bit of this, say, "Oh, that's evidence of this. That's evidence of this." No, not always what you think. And my thing is, like I said before, I do not ask them questions. So if you've got a comment, hey, can you ask them this? I can't. I don't do that. This goes back to the Owl Man. The Owl Man said he's hooked up with somebody that goes to him and talks to him. They ask them questions. And the Owl Man himself said, I don't know if they're telling me the truth or not. So he must have had his doubts in what he was told. That's fine. I don't know where his head was at. The Foots know where his head was at. But I take it from them what they give me. I don't ask them. Sometimes I wonder about things and they kind of give me answers when I'm wondering. Uh, I wondered about how far this would go when I found out that in Alabama the Foots knew who I was. I'm wondering, how far does this go? Next thing I know, the lady from the UK gets a hold of me. Her boys and girls wanted her boys and girls suggested she gets a hold of me. Okay, that told me it goes that far, so I quit wondering about it. I know it's all over the world, evidently. Edgar himself, the one video I told you about, he went to Russia. He met the Foots in Russia. They're in Russia. They're in the UK. You hear about them, little things about them all over the world. They got different names for them, but they're basically the same. Vietnam, the rock apes they had in Vietnam. I know them with a Bigfoot. And I met several Vietnam vets, and a few of them knew of the rock apes. That's what they call them, the rock apes, because they would throw rocks at the soldiers. And I'm not mistaken, I believe there was a bombing run at one time to try to eliminate these guys. That's something I'm kind of picking up. I can't verify it, but it kind of come out of one of the soldiers, the veterans' mouths that kind of happened. But he wasn't sure if that was really the story, but that did come out like that. Could very well be. There's not much you can do with them. But they're my best friends. They do good for me, and I do good, as much good for them as I can. So this is part of it, informing you, letting you know what's going on with them, so you don't get no surprises when they decide to say someday, "Hey, we're out here. We're here. What are you going to do?" You know, you need to know how to act. You need to know how not to act. Could make for a good relationship. And I'm going to tell this one more time so people understand. We have prisons full of people, some of which do not deserve to draw breath. This I know for a fact. Well, that's us humans. There's foots out there that aren't the best either. But what I know of, I don't know how to explain it. Like I said, things come into my head from the foots that I don't understand. And I get the thoughts and I know things. I don't know why, but I know things. And what I'm getting is the good foots are weeding out the bad. That's their sense of justice, or whatever you want to call it. They do have a sense of justice. They do have a policing force. The Mothman. You might not want to believe that, but it's a fact. He's been here once. But there was a video on Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot channel. They had a video on there of a soldier that told a story of something sounding really fantastic. And I myself personally, I know the foots are tied up with the Mothman. He was here. This guy told this wild story. You need to watch it. It's just something, the story of a soldier or something. I can't remember the name of it, but he's telling a story that just like is far out until he gets to the part about the Mothman being with the Bigfoot in the middle of this attack thing. I'm like, whoa, never been mentioned before. So, like I say, I talked about it a long time ago. Then this video comes out and he says what he says. I'm like, oh boy, he's on the money somewhere. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much more time, but I'm going to get with Jack and we're going to get this video thing done together and get it out to you as soon as possible. And all I can say is thank you all for being here. I promise to give you all the information I can. It's all truthful. You know, the bottom line of it is, if I told any lies on the foots or about anything that wasn't right, they'd spank me one way or another. The foots are into total honesty, and the whole world should be that way. But it's not. So, anyway, I'm going to get off here and I will get with you guys later. Thank you much for being here, and hopefully this video will all come out good and you will see it soon. Thank you.